So just a quick deminding video on the importance of staying grounded. And I opened up the No Self, No Problem workbook with a quote from the authors of An Unhappy Mind is a Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind. So this is Killingsworth and Gilbert. And the quote is, "The ability to think about what is not happening is a cognitive achievement that comes with an emotional cost." And that's what we so often overlook, the emotional cost of spending half of our days in a mind-wandering state, a fantasy, a simulation of a reality the ego wishes would happen rather than the reality of what is happening. And so I'm going to share two stories with you about staying grounded in the real world, as opposed to fantasizing about something that your ego believes is superior or better in some way. One is actually my grandfather. So him and his wife, my grandmother, obviously came from Poland with, from what I've heard, very little money. They didn't speak English, and they found a place in the middle of nowhere in western or middle of the state of Pennsylvania, and they found a hill or a mountain. It's kind of in between. And they just wedged a house in the middle of this. And they built it. And he was a coal miner. And the point is that my 10-year-old mind was always mystified as to how he could be so happy with so little. He seemed to have nothing, but he'd bring out his guitar or his harmonica, and he would sing with such joy. And he just seemed like such a happy person. Well, that is the secret. He wasn't lost in the dream of thinking. He wasn't intellectualizing a life that was superior to what was real at the moment. And that seems to be the trick. And another story, Osceola McCarty, she had washed other people's clothes by hand, and you can look her up, see some videos where you can see the equipment that she used, not a washing machine at all. It was all old school, mostly by hand, and she had done other people's clothes for 75 years. She had saved almost all of the money from this work. She had saved almost all of it up. Today's dollars, it would have been about $500,000. She didn't buy anything for herself. She didn't self-indulge. She saved it up and then gave it away, most of it at least, so other people could go to college. And she did get so Clinton gave her a President's Award, and the media were interviewing her, and they said, they were interested in living this kind of selfless lifestyle. And her response was, "I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I just want to stay grounded." So that simple life of being grounded in the real world, as opposed to this tendency where we think and fantasize about a world much better than what is real, seems to pay off. It seems to be the trick, the secret to the joy of, and not just joy, but the joy meaning the whole package of living a really good life.